Hey guys, what is up? That's Texan here, and today I'm super excited because it's 60 degrees and it's excellent for boost. Of course, I'm in a Terminator. You got to try to do the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice when you're in an icon like this. A 2003 Mustang Cobra, aka the Terminator. And I think the coolest thing about this car is how they came up with it. Is probably one of those engineers looked at a Lightning and went, hey, will that supercharger fit on this 32 valve? And lo and behold, it of course did. And it made a couple of changes. One of the main thing is, of course, this 4.6 is now making 390 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. Now, one of the things that I also noticed instantly is that the transmission is a T56. It also has a short shifter kit on it, and it is so freaking notchy. And the clutch on this thing, oh my God. But this is why you do that though, and why you don't care, because it pulls so hard. But this one is not stock. If you look under the hood, you can already see that it has pulleys on it. Now let's try these brakes out here real quick. Oh, that stops so nice, and that's not even full. And I love the pedal feel on this car. It is so responsive. Yes, that whine. Now, of course, this also has an exhaust on it, as you can hear, and it is an SOP loudmouth exhaust, X-pipe, and a MagnaFlow back cans, I suppose, because it's completely empty. It doesn't do anything. And it's so loud. That sound, man, that sound, I can't get enough of it. This is symphony, I kid you not. This 32 valve sounds so great with this blower on it. Oh, even that sounds great. That got a little loose there, baby. Now, one of the reasons why it got loose is that this car does not have any traction control right now. And, you know, you got to be aware of that when you drive. Absolutely. Ooh, look at that. Well, that's the new kid on the block right there. Focus SD. He's got to get on it. And I can't get it off the line. Of audio for that Focus SD, of course. Now, when we talk about the handling on this car, this is an IRS car. And one thing that I find funny is that the platform itself is still essentially from 1979. So it's still a Fox body underneath. And to just put IRS on it, it is freaking awesome. And the Fox body people are pretty happy with that, because essentially everything that's on this car you can swap into a Fox body if you want to. And I think one of the coolest things about these cars is the presence that it has. And for people that know about these cars, if you talk Kenny Bell, if you talk Whipple, you automatically think Cobra behind it, because these things, when they were brand new, were taking names. These were around before the GTRs, before that 1,000 wheel horsepower cars were in every corner. So if you ran 700 wheel horsepower back in the day, you would own and take names, and this car is one of those cars. And the nickname Terminator, 100% warranted, because it would literally terminate just about anything back then. Oh man, that shifter is so notchy. Now I bet if you own this car for long enough, you'll get used to it, but just starting out driving it, you're granny shifting it. You need to have muscle memory with this. I really feel all my muscles burn right now. And also this clutch leg, the clutch is super, super heavy. And you know, it's not gonna be a forgiving car if you have to learn a manual on it, definitely not. But as soon as you start owning it for a while, I bet this is going to be freaking great. And that exhaust pops like a boss too. I love the turning. Oh man, cannot get enough of that. That is just, it's impossible, impossible. Now what I was talking about, these cars just took names back in the day, and that reputation is still kind of there. So it's kind of like this car, almost like the Supra, not quite, because the Supra holds more power at the block, and the transmission on the Supra is also better than the transmission that's in this one. But if you want to have 700 wheel horsepower, you don't want to spend too much money, this is going to be your best bet. When you talk about the styling on these cars, 94s were kind of bubbly, had really that 90s styling on the outside. And when 99 came around, it really brought it in the early 2000s with these hard edges, and I absolutely love the way it looks. Now, my personal opinion, the favorite looking new edge Mustang is the Mach 1. Not the Terminator, but for the motor, it's definitely the Terminator, of course. The one thing that I wish that the Mach 1 had is the front bumper on this car. The front bumper is so awesome looking, and it is one of my favorite things to look at, because you have these fog lights and then you have the air intakes on the other side, and it just comes together so nice. And when you look in the rearview mirror, you look at this car, it just looks beefy, and it looks, get out of my way because I'm about to terminate you. Absolutely me. And of course, this particular one has smoked headlights, which works perfectly with the silver exterior. And the cool thing is, because this one is tuned, you look at this boost gauge, and as soon as you get on it, it is immediately pinged. Now there's an auxiliary boost gauge. About 16, 17, so yeah, it is definitely a little bit better than stock. And an exhaust though, is such glorious, glorious sounds coming from this car. So I kind of told you that I like the exterior on the car, but then you flip over to the interior and you still see all that bubbly goodness from the 90s. And I'm sorry, I don't really like it. These seats, however, are very, very nice. You have nice side bolstering, and even though that they're older, they still have a great feel to them. They're nice and soft, but they hug you in all the right places. Now, one thing that I always found funny on the interior on these cars is the way that the shifter is. It kind of has that weird angle, but it works fine, so it's okay. Another thing with the interior is, of course, the trunk space. As you can see, or maybe not, there is a BMX back there. So if a BMX fits in there, it is still pretty sizable. Of course, those seats fold down, so you don't have any issues there. Now, when we talk about performance figures on these, 0 to 60, 4-second range, quarter mile. It is a 12-second quarter mile time. This car is probably a little bit faster than that because it is modified. Probably puts down around 450 to the wheels instead of the 390-ish stock to the block. Although, of course, Ford had an issue with the earlier naturally aspirated Cobras. They were overrated, so they were advertising more power than they actually made, which a lot of owners got very pissed off on. And Ford did fix that later on. Man, that exhaust is so loud, it was hard to talk over that. But anyway, so I figured that they just changed everything around and said, okay, this time we're just gonna say it makes 390 horsepower and 390 torques, but it actually makes more than that stock. And you just can't get enough of that whine, that awesome sound that this car makes on acceleration. It is just freaking grand. Why you do this. This is the reason why you get one of these. So the conclusion is a very simple one. Let me shift all the way up to 6th gear. Here we go. Quiet things down. It is just such a awesome car. It looks awesome. It goes awesome. You have plenty of horsepower potential if you want to keep it at that 700 wheel horsepower range. You can't go wrong with one of these. Heady interior, but again, it's a complete side note because the exterior looks so awesome and it sounds so awesome and it goes so awesome. And of course, we gotta do this thing. I go in 1st gear. Thank you so much for this experience. I've been waiting for this car a very, very long time. Oh, this is the best feeling a Mustang has ever given me. It is freaking awesome. Oh, goodness, this is so cool. So cool. I definitely know what Arnold Schwarzenegger would say completely all the freaking time driving this car. He would go, what? You wanna race me? Come on, let's do it. Do it now. Race me now. I'm right here. What are you waiting for? Come on. Come on, do it. I don't even know if that's gonna sound right at all. Sounds fine to me. Excellent.
God, that cracks me up. And if you had if someone had a really good one, they do the whole review.
No, the whole review. I can't do it because I guess I have my moments. It sounds okay, but put that cookie down. You know, but those are like the stuff that you can rehearse a million times. And
back to the chopper, he says back to the Cobra.
Oh, yeah, back to the Cobra. I gotta go back to the GT.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, the first time I put this thing in reverse.
Oh, reverse, okay.
I put it in 5th the first time.
All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna go. Oh no, wait a minute, I'm still in gear.
That should be it.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. I'm gonna. You got no track. So if I do this,
the light won't do anything. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the tune takes it out. So.
I feel kind of off, man, driving this. I mean, that clutch is super heavy.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh man, I can't do it. Even now you hear it. That is so freaking awesome, man. This is like a permanent smile on your face, dude.
Yeah.
You made such a great choice.
You got the same reaction that I had when I first got it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should have filmed it. Well, if you try to put a camera on there and you're not used to filming yourself, then you start to pander towards it. And for me, it's like I don't care that camera's there anymore.
You're just giddy like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, that's
great.
How
it was.
Yeah. Ouch! That hard plastic, man. Hey, all the reviews that said that this is stuck and all loose and wiggly, and it's completely fine in this one. So how many pounds of boost is it running?
17.
17. It's not ported, is it? No.
No. First time I saw it, I was like, that's a lot of boost.
Well, it can take more. That guy is so pissed right now. Oh, goodness. He knew that was going to happen. He knew it. And he's booking it too. Man. He's keeping up with us right now, and we're doing 70. Oh, man. That is so glorious. If there's any car to troll the Prius in, this would be it. And look at this. How many times have we come across this where people don't know what they're doing? Because I already know what he's going to do. Come on. Anytime now. Anytime. There you go.
Glory of editing.
Yeah, the glory of editing, exactly. You hear all that stuff said, what the hell is this guy talking about? Delete, delete, delete. Yeah, CI, perfect. No, I'm not.